Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Perspectives. This is the show hosted by myself and Liddy Bro Flacco, who unfortunately can't be here because he's literally helping set up refugee tents and whatnot. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing, but he's doing some really noble stuff. So unfortunately, he will not be here with us, at least at this part. But we are, in fact, joined by Mr. YaBoyClip, and we're going to talk to him. We're going to talk to him and get to know him a little bit. As y'all who watch may know, Flacco likes to run through this little bit of an introduction bit. So in the spirit of him not being here, we are going to go ahead and do what we can to make sure that we do the introduction part as right as we can. So Flacco would like to usually starts it off with our origin story of sorts. So he describes a bit how this came to be. So this is basically while he was doing the Liddy Bro Volume 1 album run. He like ended up working with an engineer in Montreal, and I'm in Montreal myself. So when this man's went ahead and shared one of the tracks, which is not a common thing he does, as Flacco puts it, he's a bit of a New Yorker. You don't tend to put on like that because it's not really like the right moves, etc. So with that, it's like I checked the song, I thought it was super dope, and at the time I was really pushing album reviews, so I did a little album review, and Flacco saw it and he was like, this is dope, which led to us doing an interview. And when he describes it, he uses words like therapeutic and why has nobody asked me these questions before, and kind of stuff like that, to which he then will go on to describe it how he, you know, being a typical New Yorker, he's going to go find something dope and make sure to tell all the homies. So he decided to do a show with me. We started running it, and he's basically been getting the homies in to come through and go through the experience, get their stories down on all of that. That's kind of how we got started. Then he, launches off with the questions where he basically would go, YaBoyClip, before we get into it for reals, can you just take a quick second to let us know who you are and what you do, where you're from, and where your parents are from?
Okay. What up, y'all? You already know what it is. If you don't know, it's YBC, your boy Clip. Straight out of Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I'm a cameraman, I'm a battle rapper, I'm an engineer, graphic designer, artist. I kind of be trying to do everything. You need to say that. They call me Mini Market Clip. I got a lot of things in store. My family, my pop's from Augusta, Georgia, land in Augusta, Georgia, and my mom, she's from New York. So that's basically the origins. I had everything kind of
And where do you
got the ball up and running, you know what I'm saying? But I do a lot of stuff for We Go Hard, done stuff for Queen of the Ring, URL, Dipset, thisis50.com, and a couple of other projects and stuff.
So we're definitely going to run through that. But you, from what I can tell, you're born in Brooklyn, or you start off your life around there? All right.
Yeah, I was born in Harlem, and I was raised in Brooklyn.
Awesome. So with that, it's super important to contextualize a bit for like the proper first opening question, which is where I usually come in. And this is a bit of a story. When it lands, we can start talking and getting into it for real. And this starts off with my girlfriend, and she's washing the dishes one time, and she's got her phone open and she's playing that Black Eyed Peas song, the I Got a Feeling. Ooh. She's vibing, she's dancing, she's doing her thing. But what really struck me about it is I was looking at her and I'm like, when did this song become chores music, right? Because like this song is now like something you put on when you like doing the dishes, or maybe you're working out, or you're doing some kind of boring thing in your life and you're trying to elevate the mood a little bit to have a bit more fun. So I thought about that, and I'm like, it's crazy because this song, if you run it back 10 years, is like the highlight of the night song. People's like super drunk. Everybody's having a great time. The whole vibe of this track is completely different. 10 years goes by. The song doesn't change at all. But because our lives have changed so much, it's now kind of evolved into chores music, which I thought was super nifty because it got me thinking about the little ones as they're all out clubbing, and they have no idea that what they're bumping right now is about to be the soundtrack of their chores music in the future of their lives. And it's like, I know that because their club music's the kind of shit I still want to put on when I'm doing dishes and whatnot. It's just kind of how it works as we get a little bit older with that. And the reason I say all that is because if we think about musics and journeys and evolutions and all of that good stuff, you kind of get to this point where you're like, you're realizing that like the stories of artists and different people, when they talk about it, it always kind of starts at this like adolescent point where like, yo, I got into hip hop at this point and started writing. Yo, I started doing things like this. Yo, my first favorite this is that. And if we think about it, that's not exactly where anybody's story really starts. In theory, you could probably run it back to like the hospital, and when it comes to music, there was some song playing when we were all born. So from that point on, we absorbing different musics and sounds, and especially when we super young and we have like no control over anything. Like I can remember being like 5 years old, and my dad has like these gray boxes, the amp and the fucking radio and the tape deck and all these wires going out to these different speakers, and he'd be busting his Led Zeppelin tapes, and at night he'd have like live.
Yeah, that's the old school stuff.
That'd be like, but then like nighttime will come around and it's like club music straight from the clubs of 90s Montreal things busting over on the radios. My mom's, she was more into like discos and musicals and other vibes, but all this shit just kind of created like a whole bunch of different sounds and environments, and then in the car it would be a different thing, and all of this is before I had any say in what I listen to, yet it influences us so much and carries over to like our adult lives so often. So I was hoping, YaBoyClip, you could run us back to being the youngest YaBoyClip you can remember being, and tell us a bit about what it sounded like to be you, keeping in mind that most of us did not actually grow up in the kind of place you did. So anything you want to share is super nifty.
Well, growing up, like music definitely played a role. It ain't play a strong role in the beginning of my life. Like I said, I can't go back to like, I was more of a 90s. I'm gonna just say a 90s. 90s was really that's when I really got in tune with the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially I can't really remember detail from young. Like my parents, they wasn't like musically inclined. We didn't play a lot of music in the house. So you kind of had to, like I said, back then you kind of had to be at your friend's house to kind of know what certain music things and joints and songs and stuff like that. But definitely early 90s, it was more Onyx, definitely Jay-Z, definitely Cameron's back in the days. It was really a Birding, Manos, Little Kim, Biggie Smalls. Like it was just a mecca of that. Especially when you back in the days, like, a lot of people don't go outside no more, but back in the days, everybody used to go outside, used to go to the party, go to Coney Island. You can really find, like you said, different sounds, different vibe, different energies, different placement, different hoods, play different music and stuff like that. So growing up, it was really, once I listened to, I was really more focused on underground artists. I wasn't really a crazy mainstream. There was a lot of guys from people like Fred the Godson, God bless his soul. He was one of the people that I grew up on. Like that's when I really say, yo, this music is this is different. It's about rhyming, it's about lyrics, it's about content, it's about metaphors, it's about punchlines. Like that was the type of stuff like that caught my attention, where I wanted to see what really was the essence of that. And as I got older into the music in the 90s, then I kind of
We'll
went back
definitely
to the
get
80s.
into that, but I wanted to still like, cause yo, you end up doing a lot more than just making music with the
Oh
designs
yeah,
and the
yeah.
video.
Music is just like something I just do. Like it's not like a number one goal. It's just something I always been talented at. So that's what I kind of.
So like when you were younger though, were you into stuff like drawing? Like what kind of other stuff were more your passions than before you got?
Actually, I only thing I was really doing was playing basketball. Like no lie, like that was really it. Like that was my goal. That was my dream. That was my safe haven. That was my. If I'm having a bad day, I'm just going outside playing ball from 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 10 o'clock at night with some of my friends from the neighborhood, or we going to different hoods and play. So music, battle rap, video, all of this other stuff that people see now never crossed my mind. Like never crossed my mind. So it's really just straight, honestly, basketball. Battle rapping slowly came into what our battle friends here and there, but it was really mainly basketball. Like, that was my first love. So,
So basically, you're playing basketball, and then all of a sudden, like, what makes you kind of develop more of an interest? I know you said like Fred the Godson, but how are you like? Is it just like this organic, like you out and about and you just hear some shit and you go, "What's that?" Or is it more like your friends put you onto the radio? Like, how do you actually like get
yeah,
into it?
actually, like I said, just being around some of my friends like that. Shout out to my man. I had a best friend called DJ BK Stone, still my guy to this day and everything. Like that was the person who really made me understand hip hop. Like I know about music, but I know about hip hop. He was the only like we were still youth, 18, 17, but he will be DJing his whole block cassette tapes, like for real, like taking the tissue out, putting the tissue up in it, recording it, stopping it to get certain songs on the radio just to have a collection playlist for events, parties, and I used to just see him with a whole bunch of crates, and that's when I started to find out about the Temptations, all of this other stuff, different sounds, different sampling and stuff like that. So when I really got into the basketball, basketball is part of music as well too. Basketball is part of music is probably one of the basketball's biggest inspirations on being in the locker room. Listen to Eminem Lose Yourself. Just about to get ready to play basketball, but you just want to be confident. You just want to have a certain energy, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes that music back in the day was preparing me for high school games, summer youth games, tournament games, and stuff like that. So that definitely played 100% great role. And then what came with everything else is I used to record at the studios, and I used to just watch my engineer fall asleep. I used to just watch him, like, we'll go to the studio, we'll record, we have to come back, because sometimes it's not mixed the way we want. So I just said, yo, why am I spending money when I could just kind of figure this out?
I mean, how are you getting into studios in the first place? Like, is it just because of, like, you're in school and other people are doing this? Like, how do you actually get introduced into this world beyond just, like, parties or whatnot?
Actually, I got around to the studio, like, back in the day with my best friend, like I said, right, but we didn't have no studio. So we'll go to Family Dollar or Dollar General, and we'll buy like an old radio. Some of these radios back then, you can record yourself on on these radios. So sometimes we just had to play the beat in the background, kind of be right next to the radio and rap. Like that was our studio before I finally stepped foot in the studio. And once I met my homeboy, shout out to my man Moolah in Effect. When I met Moolah, that's when I met him through my other boy B Sets. When they offered me to come down to the studio, it was right in Brooklyn. It was actually right down the block from me, like probably like 10 minutes away from me. That's when I got the understanding of what real studio means: time, recording, engineering, the real track board. Like that's when I was like, yo, oh shit, all right, this is all right, we can do this. And I would never forget it. My first time ever in that studio, we got in that studio at 8 o'clock, and I would never forget, we left that studio at 7 in the morning the next morning. That was my first time rapping for them.
Say a word. You did
That
a
was showing
11-hour session your first time.
first time. Remember, never forget it. We recorded 17 tracks that night. They booked a session for us. They just kind of wanted to see what we could do, because like I said, my homeboy, he was dating my sister. So when my sister told him that I rap, he invited me down. He's like, yo, my homeboy rap too. And it's like everything kind of coincided that one time. So we all met at the studio. I bought my man Ray Bugs. Since he bought his right hand man, we all kind of coincide right there. And then from that point, that's when I started recording. That's when I was trying to, I guess, be the artist. I was going on tour. I was performing.
Hold up. We gotta go through this with more details. This is interesting shit. So first of all, it's pretty damn incredible that you banged out effectively a 17-track whatever in one session on your first time going in. Like, you must have been practicing hella hard.
Oh yeah, yes, 100%. Because back then, that's why I said kind of battle rap played a great role. Because back then you had to have. I was from the era where you have to have your rhymes on deck. If I'm in Montreal and we chilling, and somebody just say, yo, and again, this is battle format. You at least want to have a joint, whether it's battles, whether it's prepared for a cypher. I always wanted to be paired with rhymes. Back then, I knew how to take any rhyme I had and match it to any beat, whether it was fast, whether it's slow, because the rhyme was so repetitive. So when I went into that studio, we always had old joints, new joints. We was always prepared, like, and that was the beauty of it. From that day on, it was the fact that we really went up in there. We had to impress them, especially knowing the fact that the guy was dating my sister at the time. I really wanted to showcase, like, I'm really nice, bro. Like, I rap. Like, I don't make music. I just rap. Like, I'm a lyrics. You gonna hear some bars. You gonna hear some stuff. back in the day. So once I got into that was my safe haven. Like that was when I took the music. Let me try to become an artist.
So
Shout
basic.
out to my man Moolah, because I feel like he had the whole package of the look, the energy, the style, the flow, the pattern, and I would never forget his first mixtape was called Fresh Out the Peas. He took a picture of himself. He did his own cover art. Like that's when you just had to be really, you had to sell your own self.
Yeah, that's wild. Still, there's a few interesting things you said. So if I understand, you're from the era where you running around in the streets. For the people that don't know, and when they say that, they mean literally you would go outside, and if people called you, oh, you rap, now you have an impromptu little battle that actually goes on. So you got the
Yes,
opportunity to sharpen your sword. You and your mans was practicing with the radio tape deck, so you're putting in work this whole time. You just
yes,
practicing. You're really onto that underground shit. That's what you're exposed to, so that's what's inspiring you, pushing that bar stuff. But then what was
yep,
super nifty is how you described the studio. Because, like, yo, a lot of rappers do not walk in and talk about all the tracks on the engineering board. Like, that to me is wild that that's your focus. And that's a cool focus, right? Because then,
yeah,
before it cut, you were describing how you go to the studio, which again, 17 tracks, like that's still incredible. Like say whatever
yeah.
anyone.
And that
That's
was my first time. Like I never really recorded to that degree. That was my first time working with a real engineer. That was like, again, that's when you was going up in there. It was no mess ups. You probably want to mess up maybe 3 times. Like we rapping. One take, do my doubles, my ad-libs, I'm done. Next track. I got another one. Let's go. And some of these were songs, some of them was freestyles, but it was the fact, like you said, we had that whole. I couldn't believe it. Like I could call them to this day, yo, bro. Remember when we did that 17 tracks in the studio? They'll be like, yeah, that was crazy. Like we really slept in the studio. That was my first from 9 o'clock. We ain't had chips, orange juice, water, weed, drinks, and sandwiches. Like that was it, just to get us through that whole night.
that's amazing. That's incredible within itself. But then, as you were describing this process, what really struck me was how you were like, but at the same time, I was kind of like not interested in paying these people, and maybe this guy was
Oh yeah,
falling asleep, which is crazy to think that if an engineer fell
yeah.
asleep on me, I'd lose my shit. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's my yeah, and I don't blame him because again he was working with a lot of artists. He was
Mm.
like a lot of Jamaican artists. Like, and again, them sessions is a long session. I do engineering myself, so sometimes that definitely can get overwhelming. But I also realize like if I'm figuring this out, I can make somewhat of a profit. Like, why would no? And again, I have no problem with paying the next man for their services, but that's what you're paying them for. But then I also felt like in the back of my mind, as probably a year went past, I'm like, I could kind of do this myself. I think I could do this myself. Like, and that's when it's slowly, all right. I was still come to record, but then I work on getting my own little studio, get an own little Mac. I had the first Pro Tools SE. This was the first Pro Tools, like terrible, terrible Pro Tools, boy. If you ever had a shot to anybody out there who ever used a Pro Tools SE, that's when you only had like a couple of tracks. It only have a couple of plugins, and you really just had to do. We made magic. We made magic off that journey and stuff like that. But that's when it came into play because, like I said, I didn't want to
So
pay.
how do you learn how to use this at this time? Like that's where it's
At
impressive
the,
because there's no YouTube
I,
tutorials.
yeah, it was no really YouTube at that time, really. And then two, people be like, "Yo, Clip, how you do this stuff?" And I'm gonna tell them honestly. Ask questions and everything is YouTube is like the Google of anything visually that you want to know or want to know how to do. You know what I'm saying? So when I did that, once I got to the studio, and then I'm like, once I felt like I gotta keep coming back to remix my stuff down, and I still had to pay for that. That's when I was like, all right, fuck this. We're not doing this shit no more. We definitely not doing this no more. So I say, yo, so I will still pull up. People would have their other sessions, and I'll stop by. That's when I was able to figure everything out. Because I wasn't just coming to my studio. If Ray Book had a
Mm.
session, coming. If Moolah had a session, I was almost at everybody's session at all the time. Like anytime Moolah had a session, I was there. Like, and when I'm there, I'm able to listen better. I'm able to see what the engineer is doing, what he's doing, why he's doing it, what does this do, and I'm figuring all this stuff out. And then from there, I never went to school for none of this stuff that I learned how to do. whether it's engineering, I didn't learn graphics, I didn't learn videos, I didn't learn photography, I didn't learn none of this stuff. Like, this is all straight knowledge, asking and getting what I need to get, and watching YouTube and seeing what I gotta do this, and keep mimicking
Say
everything that they
word.
gotta do.
This is
Yeah.
honestly the template for how I believe you can do anything these days. So it's fucking
Yes.
amazing it because you're honestly pretty early on then in this world of shifting into self-educating everything. Not to say that you couldn't do it before, but if you're at that point with YouTube and whatever, and the technology is more accessible, you're one of the earliest eras of people to be able to really just jump into, I'm gonna take control of the entire. It's basically creating vertical integration within your art.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, bro. Because I just felt like self-education is the best key. Because why? You can work your own pace. You can figure out what you need to figure out without stressing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And the beauty of it, you creating your own sound, you creating your own mix, you're creating your own vision. Again, even because I first started doing photography first and stuff like that, then I got into videos. But
hold on. So when do you? So let's go back to the music. I want to get through all of this because you said even with the music, right? So you start studying, you learn how to be an engineer.
I started with the music first.
But you end up going on tour.
Yeah, we went on tour a couple of times. Shout out to what was this thing we had? It was called Zenage. I think it was like a sponsor, but it was like an energy drink. And we were sponsored. Me and my man Mula, we were sponsored by them. We were sponsored by Pepsi Cola. We had Sony. Shout out to my man Mula. I remember he had a Sony deal on the table. We had a couple of distribution deals on the table. Numbers wasn't right though, but the offers was there. We went to Jersey. I will never forget my first experience out of town was, rest in peace to my homeboy Mo Vex. Was with my man Mo Vex. That was in Baltimore. Like, that was my first time really showcasing me as an artist. I remember I battle rap a guy right out the barber shop. We went shopping. He came out the store like, "Yo, you look like you rap." I'm like, "Yeah, we rap." And I was always that person in the team that's ready to battle anybody. Like, before you even talk to my team, you got to talk to me first. If you not getting past me, you damn sure not getting past my team, bro. And that was my first battle, like, random, in another state. It was right at the barber shop. We was right in front of the bar. I smoked this nigga. Smoked his whole fucking boots off his feet.
So your
and I will
first
never forget that.
So your first battle is some guy looked at you and is like, "You look like you rap. Let's get it."
Yeah, it was my first. It was my first battle.
First out of state.
Like, out of 10. Out of 10, right. Yeah. We was out there. We was in the studio with my man Mo Vex. He took us shopping. I think he took us shopping to eat. And while we out and about, we look like, an artist or a team, whatever you want to call it. And the guy comes right out the barbershop. He looked at us. Like, I'm an artist, so I rap, man. I smoke. We just battled. And I remember smoking him. And I remember smoking him in front of my team. And they was just like hype. From that moment, that's when I got into battle rap.
Yeah, that's wild still. So where did you tour though? What other places did you end up going? What's it like to tour back then?
Tour, and again, see, back then, like, touring, especially when you're an underground artist, it's a lot of borough tours. And I'm gonna say borough tours mean, like, it's places in Montreal, but it's in Montreal. But it's places that you gotta kind of go to kind of know the part of it. So let's say if you're in Brooklyn, some tours would be in Brooklyn, so you'll go from a place over here, Then next week we'll go to Jersey. Then out of Jersey we'll go to VA. The VA will go to Baltimore, or then in Baltimore they'll go down south. So sometimes it's really in that, and people forget at this time it's not showcases. These is open mics. So these is really, you're just going down there like showcasing talent. You're not paid. This is not one of them joints where you got to pay $50 to perform. Like, nah, this is really, you sign your name, you come out here. Not unless you knew people. Some of the people, like I said, shout out to our sponsor Prince at the time, because he had deals where he got us to perform and got us on radio stations and podcasts and everything like that. So my homeboy Josh Bays, he was another one that was on our team. He ended up getting actually in the industry. He was on Wendy Williams' show. He was on Jimmy Kimmel. He got a video shot by Hype Williams and stuff like that. And he was like, this is some people that we was in the studio with We grew up with that's actually Moolah's cousin. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that coincides. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, fame, people forget about themselves and stuff like that. And it was I always got to tell this funny story. And basically, it was just really about everybody had the opportunity to make themselves somebody, and it was up to you. If all of us is in the same team, like we all alike, but you have to stand out. When your time comes, you got to make sure you take full advantage of that opportunity, whether it's in the studio, whether it's on a song, whether it's because we had everything. We have everything. We was everything in one. We was our own entourage. We was our own crew. We was our own street team. Like Ray Bugs was kind of our DJ. Then we had a producer named Jigsaw, TS Production. So we had a whole different. We were trying to create a team. You know what I'm saying at that time. And again, but music just it wasn't hitting for me like that. It wasn't giving me the feel. And again, I was only doing it because I was nice. I wasn't trying to do it to get a deal. I wasn't trying to get signed. If it came, blessings, but that never was my goal. I just wanted to show you I'm nice. Yo, this little light-skinned dude is nice. Like he really nice. That's all it ever was. It was never more than that. Like if somebody say, "Look, they want to sign you right now," I'm like, I don't care. It's not something like that was my goal. It was really never my goal. Like if I get the opportunity, I'm taking full advantage because of my talent. But I also know I always wanted to be around people where I could bring more to the table. And that's when I started to do the camera stuff, recorded other stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a crazy pivot. And I like that you said it like that, Stills. And it's interesting, even just the idea of recognizing what your passion is. I know that might seem like a basic thing, but a lot of people, I think, struggle with understanding passion and roles and like there's just more to life than just maybe being an artist.
That's what you said, the roles. That's the point. They roles. Like a lot of people don't know how to play their role. Like you may not be prepared to play on the starting five yet. That doesn't mean there's nothing wrong with playing the bench. That doesn't mean there's nothing wrong being an assistant coach or just being a supporter, just being a fan, just hyped to, you know what I'm saying, to listen to the music. Or we had people that never recorded, that never been in the studio, and we'll just send them the music just to hear their perspective and stuff like that. So, but the music stuff, it died down to me after a while. Once I started really getting into the battle rap, that's cool.
So when did it become like more formalized that you got into battle rap? And is that at the same time that you get into photography, or do you get into like battle rap first?
They all kind of coincide right at the same time because I always been battle rap. Like I always looked at battle rap as a form of, you could kind of get away with anything that you want to say. It's just all about how you say it, why you say it, and at this time. But I also was doing photography. Now, when I was doing photography, I always used to be in the studio, and I felt like this is just me. And I know a lot of people may not feel like this, and if you do, salute to you, that you understand. But I always felt like we all are famous in our own way, without views, without followers, without all of that stuff. We all kind of got our own story to tell, but we're not able to tell a story. You probably had great moments in the studios with other artists that you know that I know you be like, damn, I wish I would have got that footage. Or I wish I would have recorded that night when you know what I'm saying? Because those are the ones we just keep in mind. And I used to always be the dude. We used to have great moments in the studio. Like, why we never record these moments? So I took on that advantage to be the cameraman for the team. I said, fuck the music. Let me just record the moments in the studio. And that's what I started doing next. So I'm like, if a picture speak 1,000 words, I could make a video speak 1,000,000.
Yeah, that's wild. So you just was like, and you know, it's interesting you said that to me. And I was having a conversation with a guy I know who basically made a documentary in the same kind of vein. He was doing flag football with his peeps, and he just started filming everything, and then like 10 years later turned it into a movie and like sold out the movie theater and all that shit, right? And he was saying to me, you have no idea what you're not doing by recording, by having somebody record what you're all doing here behind the scenes. You don't know what you're missing by getting these moments. And I've been thought a lot about it, and then you're basically saying the same thing here. Now,
it's true.
In your version, you're the guy who wants to film, and in his version, he's the guy who likes to film. But the idea of just even having somebody around that's like sole job is to document stuff, like that's all they do. That's
Yeah,
big. I don't think a lot of people
yeah,
consider that person on the team. Like, we might film ourselves in like a social media kind of way, but I don't think a lot of us just consider the value of that. So it's super nifty that you saw that. But then also the add value perspective, like, okay, fine, if the music thing's not it, to go, yo, but this could be it. And then to like pivot into
yeah,
something where like it's way more interesting to you, but also serves the bigger goal is amazing.
yeah. That's a fact, cause that's what it was. Because like my man, shout out to my man Moolah, like that's my right hand man. I will record everything he would do. Every session he had his listening session, I record that. He's in the studio, I record that. I'll make the in studio version music video. We would try to just be in the studio and we'll like, all right, we got 8 hours, but let's do 7 hours of recording. We do 1 hour to record a video that you like from the studio, and we'll just do stuff like that. And I'll be the one going home, editing, figuring out what we need to get, how these shots look. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I wasn't crazy great, but my passion and my drive was definitely there. Like, definitely there. It was, I had every camera. I had the camera with the CD, with the DVDs in them.
I didn't even know I had
That's
cameras with DVDs with them.
exactly. A lot of you don't only if you was a tourist back in the days in New York, that's what you had. You would put stuff on the DVD, and I had the tourist with the camera that flip out. I had almost every camera you could kind of think of, just to make stuff get better, make the quality look better, make everything look kind of detail, because like you said, and it was the fact that I took on that role. I didn't ask for nobody to say, yo, do this or do that. I took on that because I felt it was necessary for us to capture these moments, which I still have on YouTube. Till this day, this is 8, 10 years ago and stuff like that. So it's still it still shows the grind from where I started at to where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? But it was just the beauty of it was to I felt like, especially my man Moolah, that was my I was a fan. I was a fan of everybody on my team, but when Moolah, my son Moolah, was in the studio, I always look forward to it because his music was way better than mine. It's like I'm as dope. I was trying to keep up, but we all looked at him like, yo, he's if they say, yo, who could get signed out the team right now, all of us would have picked Moolah because he really had it. Like to this day, he still got it. He just don't have the passion because we've been doing this for almost 20 years respectfully. You know what I'm saying? So we've been doing this for a long time, networking and grinding, putting in our own money. We had labels that fucked us over. We had managers that fucked us over, took money from us, left niggas for dead, and we still out here pushing to this day.
Yeah, that's what makes you kind of legendary in my eyes. In the same way, like to me, the most impressive thing I think, at least at this juncture of my life in my early 30s, is people who keep doing things, right? Like, because
Yeah.
most people like probably aren't gonna get that like super dream, but there's this like middle ground where you like sustainably do what you want to do for the rest of your life. And anybody that
Mm-hmm.
could position themselves like that to me is really like that's some legendary shit. To keep doing it for decades,
Yeah,
that's huge.
yeah, yeah. Just to keep yourself relevant. Like that was God wasn't lit on YouTube. I wasn't like people know of me, they know what I was doing, but they didn't really know what I was doing.
Right.
And
Yeah, it
then that's when
makes.
the battle and stuff came.
So how do you get more like into battling? Like how does it like evolve from like you're battling people to like you're doing battles?
All right, so where now that came into play, that happened. I will never forget this story. I went to shout out to the Pyramid. Pyramid used to be a place in New York. It's on the Lower East Side, near like the Lansing Exit Street, whatever. And they used to have this thing called End of the Week. End of the Week was I think they have it
No,
the
and
weekdays and the
yeah.
weekends.
So end of the week is still around because we on their Zoom right now.
Yeah, shout out the End of the Week, respectfully. Like they that's when you wanted to showcase your talent on a different level. This is where I first met Ian Solomon. I met Mav Hoffa. You know what I'm saying? I met Dutch. I met Sarah Connor. I met Swave Cell. I met a lot of people that was just going there as artists. These was artists, Immortal Tech. These was people that was still going Poison Pen. Like these is people that still are how a well known name in the culture that done tours and everything, and they used to do like freestyles and stuff like. And I used to just go down there as a fan. And I remember the first time I performed, I think I performed late, and it was a whole packed house. But when I performed, there was only 2 people left in that crowd, and I was Mav Hoffa and I was Iron Solomon. I will never forget it. I will never forget it to this day. And I felt bad because I'm like, yo, I'm only rapping for 2 people. I felt hurt. I was hurt, no lie. Like as an artist, I'm like, yo, what? Then Mav was like, yo, bro, don't worry about it, man. I fucks with you, bro. Just keep doing what you got to do. I came back the following week, but I came early. I think I came late that time because I didn't know
But even if you think about what you just said, it's not necessarily the number of people. Think about the 2 people you perform for. Those would be 2 people. Like I would go to a packed show hoping those 2 people kind of would catch me, you know? Like so, it's almost like you just cut through the fat and gave like a private show to people you definitely want to like have it.
They did not have to stay. It was just them. There was a big stage. They just stood right there. It was just standing there. I'm looking, ain't nobody in there but them 2. And I would just remember just rapping. And I came outside, it was like, you fired, bro, don't worry about it, bro. You got it, you know what I'm saying? They gave me words of advice. I took that. I came back early the next following week and I shut it down. So that's when I met my homeboy Joe Colombo. Now, Joe Colombo, if it wasn't, y'all would not know of YaBoyClip if it wasn't for Joe Colombo. Like, you probably would have known me down the line, but as me and Joe Colombo worked at the movie theaters. And I met him, I forgot, I don't know if it was through the music side first or I think we met through work, and then we linked up at the end of the week and stuff like that. So I used to be at work. I used to have the schedules of the movies that's coming out at what time, and then on the other side of that, I would just be writing rhymes, punchlines, metaphors, punchlines, metaphors. So me and him will battle at work, on break, on the concession stand. We'll freestyle about popcorn, all this random dumb stuff, whatever. So he was like, yo, bro, I rock with these people from Grind Time. I'm like, word? He's like, yo, yeah, I rock with a couple of dudes that gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should come out. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a try, and everything like that. So I'm trying to remember. It's been so long. This is when I met. Shout out to my man Dutch. I think my first battle was against this guy named E-Dot. And again, like
I saw that battle. So
yeah, that was my first.
Dutch was very much like, yo, you better watch these 2 battles. And give me his like, you better watch them. It was the one against that dude, and then against 12 Gauge because Dutch is right there.
Well, we're gonna talk about the 12 Gauge one. That's my favorite story. But E-Dot was just a warm up. E-Dot was me again, like you said.
That's like your first like battle.
Yeah, I think that was to that magnitude. Like I done little stuff against my homeboys. We fake put it together. Me and my man Solo the Guard. We did some fake promo, whatever, the battle, whatever. But to that, as somebody saying, come to my platform, show, you know what I'm saying, and really saying, yo, he's fire. Shout out to my man Dutch. And again, my first battle ever, I had the opportunity to have Soul Khan as a host. DNA was there. Sway Sever was there. And again, at the time, I didn't know the format of battle rap. I just know I could rap. But even with that battle, it's the energy that I brought against E-Dot that just, you know, the aura made me feel like I won. You know what I'm saying? Like my lyrics wasn't the best at the time, but the stuff I was saying, I showcased what I really could do. And at this time, this goes back to what I told you earlier. I was still in the 90s format of just having rhymes. I didn't write for E-Dot. I didn't know who he was. Again, that's why I tell people it's a different time frame. Because back then on Grind Time, you only had 1 minute. You ain't have 2 minutes. You didn't have 2 minutes and 30. You had 1 minute to impress somebody. That means you got to either shake the room or you got to shake the room. And then when I would never forget it because DNA stole my ball. We say shit niggas scared to. He stole it. He stole it respectfully. Because if you see against the battle versus E-Dot, I said it's a punchline. It's a punchline. I said that he used that same ball when he battled on Webster Hall. I think he battled Miles. I don't know if it was Miles or somebody. I forgot who DNA battled that time. But he used that same punchline. That's when I said, yo, I could really do this, man. I just had, and this was young DNA, but at the time I'm thinking like I know who he was. I'm like, yo, he he's took my ball. Like, oh, I could if he could rap with my if I'm that nice that somebody still that's my first time ever dealing with somebody stealing with my line or whatever. So when he's took it, I'm like, yo, I could do this then. If he's stealing my shit, the lines that I'm saying is, oh, I know what time it is. So when, like I said, when I made Joe Colombo,
that's one of the nicest like flexes of like an early moment, right? Like that I think I've heard really. Like I spit a bar, a man who's ahead of me in the game heard the bar, and then he used the bar. And it
he
is
used
what
the
it is.
ball on Summer Madness. It wasn't like a roll. It was Summer Madness. Webster Hall, the first
I'm
Webster
not
Hall
really
event
sure
they
the
had.
significance of Summer Madness, to be real. My battle rap knowledge is like I wasn't really that knowledgeable, and then Dutch was like, "You're gonna talk to Iron Solomon. You've got 2 weeks to figure him out. Go have fun."
Yeah.
And then since then, it's been a lot of like I listen to battles and kind of old and new mixed together all over. I've talked to a lot of people, so like my context is a lot more on point now. So like,
Yeah.
but like I'm not necessarily sure of the significance of each like moment like that.
Well, basically, like just someone to give you a quick rundown. URL, is the biggest brand in in battle rap to that degree for certain people, but it's really like so they had a call called Summer Madness. Summer Madness is basically like it's like the biggest card of their brand. You know what I'm saying? That's where P Diddy came out. You had seen Chinks Drugs come out. There's a lot of artists. You ever want to see celebs or URL? That's kind of the platform where they all come out to, just because it's to that magnitude. But that was that platform that he did it, because I was in the building as a fan when he said this shit.
Oh, that adds a whole
So
extra level of dopeness.
yeah, exactly. Like if I watched the E-Dot battle, I could show you it, point out the ball, go to DNA battle and point out the same shit. DNA was right there, and it's all love. Shout out to DNA. That's my guy. You can have it. I don't care. But at that moment, I'm like, yo, I can do this. And again, shout out to Dutch. And that from that battle with E-Dot, that was just a warm up. So Dutch said, yo, bro, we got the draft. We doing a draft. The draft, all right. He said, yo, bro, you gonna battle this dude named 12 Gauge. He from Far Rockaway. I'm like, Now again, this is when I finally figured it out for battle rap. My first 2 rounds was all rhymes that I had. But I said, you know what? Let me see if I actually write for him. How would it do if I actually write for him? My third round, you seen the battle. My third round was the only round that I wrote for him.
It's like 12 this, 12 that, 12 ways, and then you kind of like.
Exactly. They put clip in the Marshberg. Now I'm going to rip through his 12 gauge. See, they might swag surf through Swish Your House with them Swisher Sweets. So my young guns rock this fella, and I ain't talking about Chris and Neef. His balls over everything. Y'all know how I be giving it up. Lethal killed you, which was beauty because he was actually in the crowd. Lethal killed you. Scream buried you, which he was in the crowd as well. So it kind of made sense. Like, oh, this is why you do your hits. This is why you do your homework. And I say he be running through the hood, and I be giving it up. And and again, you had 1 minute. I always had this punchline in my back in the days, but I knew if I say it, I'm gonna win. Like it's a hard. I'm like, you giving it up? And I told him, nigga, you only stop on certain blocks like a limited bus.
Yeah.
When I hit that boy with that, bro, that's why if you look at the footage, that's why it's edited. Because they was reacting for so long. That was my first time ever experiencing that. I was by myself. I had no crew. No right-hand man was with me. No girl was with me. No family was with me. I was in that building by myself. And I shook that room. Like, that's when I said, and I'm watching Rosenberg Raw. He's in the crowd. Sarah Connor, she right there. Poison Pen in the back. PH, God bless his soul. PH is in the building. I'm like, yo, once I hit him with that, I said, I know it. Now it's over. Now I'm home. It's over now. It's over now.
I remember like that was like one of those bars where like, cause the first time I watched it, I'm multitasking, doing whatever, cause it's like, and then it's like it stops you. You're like, that one hit. Like there's not.
That was
Like that would hit anybody. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. That would hit.
I can hit you with that. Yo, this is why you my guy. You just said the $1 million answer. It could have went for, that's how I was writing. A couple of name flips, but I make sure my rhymes can go for anybody, like anybody. And that was important because I always want to make sure, God forbid, somebody didn't show for a battle, which has happened. You got to improvise your rhyme and you got to know how to switch the name that you gave him. You got to use his name now. Like, and that was it. I'm so happy that you said that, bro. I'm so happy you said that.
It also like kind of makes sense because you're like, it looks like the pace of battles has increased for everyone in the last year and a bit. Like everyone's doing a lot more battles with a lot less preparation time is what it looks like. I may be wrong, but it seems...
Now you right. You 1,000% right.
So it feels like that tactic effectively trains you for what's useful today. Because if you're coming up with bars that you can flip on anybody, it's going to be an easier time to run through that gauntlet.
And that's what, and I'm happy that you brought that up because I'm gonna use that topic and why I came back musically, but I did it through battle rap, which is like me doing a verbal war zone, which me rapping on beat and stuff like that. Because I'm gonna get into that after, because everything was a kind of placing and everything like that.
But that's exactly what we do here. Because like in a sense, it's like Wikipedia pages like that. It's like blocks of like what the fuck happened in order, and that's the best way to like get a complete idea for who a person is, especially if you're somebody like me. It's like I can't Google this shit. It's better to just get you to say it, and then other people can peep that.
I appreciate y'all using it. But yeah, that's when I got, and Dutch told me, I remember he came to me after, I will never forget this. And it felt so good because he was the lead on him. He had a whole team and everybody. Shout out to Sarah Connor, Boys of Penn and everybody else. But he came to me, he was like, yo, bro, I'm proud of you. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it was just the love that I got from everybody there. It was crazy to me. And at that moment, I'm like, yo, I'm grind time, nigga. Fuck that. Whoever y'all want me to kill, send them to me. I don't care. I was prepared, but I wasn't prepared. But I was just so excited. I remember walking back home like, yo, I won. I would never forget this. Shout out to my man Rosenberg Roy. I'm gonna make sure I tag him in this when he see this. Rosenberg Roy was fire at the time. He was a young dude still though, but he was the only one. I remember I left the venue. He was outside. He came to me. He was like, yo, son, yo, you fire, bro. I fucks with you, my G. Keep doing your thing, bro. And I knew of him to that. To me, he was a little bit more famous. So I looked at him like, you said that to me, bro? He walked off. I said, nah, I'm about to fuck this shit up over here. And then grind time ended. God damn it. I said, God damn it. That's when I was getting fired.
That must have been not fun. I don't know how else to put it.
It wasn't, bro. It wasn't. Because I kind of got in, right? Grind time was already on their way out for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? But I got in right at the ending. Like, that was the fucked up part. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was prepared, ready. Things didn't go there. Things happened. You know what I'm saying? A lot of business didn't go the way it went. You know what I'm saying? But I had to find another home after that. And that's when I found We Go Hard.
Yeah, that's dope.
Which is We Go Hard. So for the people that don't know, We Go Hard is a battle rap league based out in Brooklyn. They're from Brownsville, but they're based in Brooklyn. We Go Hard is basically like I wouldn't even call us the little brothers of URL, but we kind of are we the under URL as we the only league that can really, to this magnitude, get our battles dropped on their channel. Smack comes out, Beasley come out. We the only one to get the Beasley intros on our type of stuff, so it's really beneficial. So
I don't know what a Beasley intro is. I've never heard that before in my life.
No word? You gotta hear those. Shout out to Beasley, man. Beasley's the intro king, man. I don't care what you got going on. You got a pair of socks on, and you need him to promote that with a great voice. He got that Morgan Freeman, and he got that voice that could just sell anything. So he's great. And then again, I found We Go Hard.
So they were around back at the end of grind time?
Yeah, they was around. Like they was up and coming, but they was around at the time. And I was still in battle rap form. I was ready to go, and I needed to do something. And this is when I met some of my friends in my hood, which is my man Sonny Got Balls, my man Eli, my man Brooklyn Carter, Nina, Explicit. So Explicit was always down with us back in the days. Explicit used to be in the studio with us, so I used to have him around. But my man Sonny was like, yo, I know about this league in Brooklyn. We go hard, bro. We should give it a try. And we was downstairs. We was talking about it. I'm like, yo, bro, even though they knew I was seasoned, I said, yo, bro, you know what? Y'all go first. Y'all go in first, and I come in underneath y'all like I'm y'all. Even though I know I'm seasoned, though. I'm more experienced than them in battle rap format, but they kind of got the upper hand on where it's at. I already knew about We Go Harder, just didn't know where they was at that time and everything. But when I got over there and I had my first battle, I battled this dude named Detox. Guy was a troll. He'll talk crazy. He talk everything. And this is when I think, and again, this is when you got realize things is different. Like, this is the streets. We're in Brownsville. We're in the basement. We're in the basement. This is like a Sean Paul, just give me the light. One of them basements. Like, it's really tight. It's really tight. It's Bloods in here. It's Crips in here. There's no security in here. It's people strapped in here. It's everything that you could kind of think of in an awkward setting, but it's battle rap. And I would never forget, as the dude battle rapping, he went first. I remember my man Fabio. The dude was so trash. He was just trash. And my man Fabio said, yo, bro, you gotta get more aggressive. Like, he tell it, God forbid, in a battle, you don't never want to be coached on what to do. You feel me? Now you laughing, you get it now. So everybody start laughing. Like, in my mind, I said, yo, there's no way in hell. So, and this is my first time over here. This is their first time seeing me. I got my team behind me. Shout out to my man Brooklyn Carter, because he's already known over there. So having him, my team behind me, it actually benefited my ego, my energy. And I fucked that man up. Bad. And one thing I always admired was bodies, like winning. Not 0-2-1. I was trying to body you. Like, I wanted a 3-0. I wanted to really, till this day, I had the most bodies in We Go Hard, like, as bodies, not clear wins. Like, people ain't really clear. It's not a lot of battle rappers that battle that say they could clearly win. It's maybe a couple that you probably edged it or you, but I never gave somebody a reason to say you really won against me. Like, I really didn't come prepared and stuff like that. So once I got to We Go Hard, that's when the game changed for real.
So, when does that lead to, like, music, or is that kind of like you still go through with We Go Hard for a minute?
I go hard with We Go Hard for a minute. I go a couple of years with We Go Hard, like heavy. My first battle, my second battle, I battled this guy named Titanium. I remember waiting outside for 8 hours. We was out there at 1 o'clock that day. I got there at 2 o'clock. He didn't show up till like 8 o'clock because he had to go to work. And we waited outside in the Ville. I smoked him because I was mad that I had to wait that fucking long for you, bro. Like, I was pissed. But we still battled. Salute to him. Like, we still battled and everything. And then after that, I had a couple of backouts. And then I had one important battle. It was on Halloween Havoc. This was the battle that actually got me a proving ground on URL. Proving ground is basically, it's like a being in the NBA and having a 10-day contract.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of one of those type of opportunities. So I battled Guapo, and I had one of the most iconic lines from that battle. And it was called, "Why support a nigga who never support a nigga?" The reason why I said that in the battle, because I battled a guy named Guapo. He always had a friend named Ox. And I used to always see Ox always standing behind your battles. He's always supporting your battles. But when he's battling, you're never there. So I use that as a tactic. Like, yo, why support a nigga who never support a nigga? He be here. You wasn't there. And it kind of worked in my favor. But when I did that, that was something that everybody realized. Like, I took that in the heave in real life. Like, I said, one thing about me, and Dutch will tell you this, I'm so humble that I want to know when people are a fan of me, I felt like it's right. It's only right for me to be a fan of you. That means, like you said, going down, finding out who you are, finding out what you do, supporting what you do, sharing what you do, posting what you do. Like, that's why I said, why support a nigga? If you never support me, then there's no conversation that we must have, because you're not saying, again, I don't care if it's a like, I don't care. I had a fan who seen me on 42nd Street. And he looked at me in my eyes and said, bro, I can't believe you out here. And my mind, I'm like, bro, it's just 42nd Street. Everybody should be out here. But to him, how he sees me, like, again, they see you on TV or Tube or whatever you want to call it. But when they see me out there and they say, yo, you really cool. Of course, I want to take pictures with the fans. Let me know what you do. Let me know if you got any talents, because I got people that probably need something you need. Like, that's my thing right there. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I always move like that. And when I got into battle rap, I said I can either be in battle rap or I can be a part of battle. Yeah, so and again, that was my thing. So I was in battle rap, we go hard, doing everything. I did battle, I did a lot of battles. I battled on every platform. But then I also realized, and it's a lot of things that come with this. Like, this is when it becomes real now. Now I'm really trying to become a battle rapper. I'm really trying to put on, but I'm also realizing I kind of always felt like if you come into anything showing respect, you get respect. That's just how I looked at it. I didn't care about the status, but that was what I was thinking. So I always came up in there. If you support me, if you helping me get in another position in life to better myself, to better my talent, I always want to fuck with you. I always want to support what you're doing. I feel like there's no reason for us not to have a bond, because you're helping me. I want to help you. I do this, I do that. What you do, I think I can do this, that can help you do that. So once I got into battle rap, I said, you know what? It's getting to that point where I'm not really I'm making money, but it ain't that money that other niggas is making at the time. So I'm like, I bet. I want to make myself a part of the culture now. So what I did was I started filming battles at We Go Hard. I used to watch my homeboy Mateo. He used to just sit there, he'll hold the camera, get paid, and go home. And again, at this time, I'm like, yo, I can do this. I can stand here and record these battles and get paid. And that's what happened. So I started doing that. Battles started going. Shout out to my man B City. He'll let me do every other battle with it. Every one battle here, the next person go. You do this one, he do this one. You do this one, he do this one. Then I started doing two. Then he'll do one. Then I started doing 2 or 3, 4. Then he just left. So I kind of became the cameraman for We Go Hard. So that's when I learned, again, even filming. At this time, I'm still film orientated because I was doing the stuff from before. So I'm able to showcase it now, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people starting to see that, yo, you the cameraman for We Go Hard. Oh, you the cameraman. Oh, you the cameraman. So I've been doing the cameraman stuff for so long that people forgot that I was a battle rapper. So one of the best feelings, it was a trick I used to do to people. I would be on a card and people would just see me at these events as the cameraman recording the battles. And then next up, YaBoyClip, I would get off the camera and go and battle. And then things be like, yo, bro, the cameraman battle rap? To them, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling because they like, yo, bro, that's the cameraman. Bro, now I gotta hear this. This is people that see it for the first time, so they hype. And then when they see that, yo, he really good. Like, he really, yo, he fire. Yo, you fire. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. That's when they able to see both talents now. Oh, you do this? Yo, what else you do? What else you doing? You know what I'm saying? And I took full advantage of that. And then I used to go to the URL events, and I used to just go there, and I used to do my own vlogs, get highlights, put together my own music, get the logos, and I used to just have it. And then shout out to my man Knowledge from Hip Hop Is Real. Make sure y'all know who Hip Hop Is Real. Go subscribe to them. They like the #1 media for battle rap. They do other content, but that's really where they based from. So I remember I had footage. I didn't have a YouTube like that, you know what I'm saying, to that degree. And I said, yo, bro, can I give y'all my footage and y'all promote it on y'all channel? He's like, yeah. I'm like, it's URL. And I would never forget it. I gave them some footage and it hit like almost 20,000 views. It was Summer Madness 5. And I'm like, yo, I could do this. I could really do this now. Like I'm in battle rap. I'm a battle rapper, so I know the energy, I know everything. And visually, I want the battle rap world to know I'm YaBoyClip. I'm one of the best cameramen that's out here that's a part of battle rap, and he's in battle rap. So when I started doing that stuff, a lot of doors opened up after that, which was I ended up doing the Dipset documentary. That was an
Hold on.
amazing.
We're gonna have to go into that with more detail, but can I just say that is some WWE ass shit right there, and it's perfect. The one thing I learned about battle rap is the more like the WWE you can be, the more the fans will fuck with you.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to all my fans. Like, and that's one thing, and that's what I got in it for. Cause I remember not having no fans, and then I remember getting a couple of fans, and I remember getting a more couple of fans. And one of the biggest moments to me was it was two places I was at. I would never forget this. I was in New Jersey. I was in New Jersey and Atlantic City, and I was just on the boardwalk. Me and my girl, we were just vibing, and the dude said, "Yo, ain't you your boy Clip?" I looked around. I said, out of all the places in the world, we in Atlantic City on a boardwalk where the beach is at. He knows me. Oh, I said, nah, I need to take a picture. I'm a fan of you. I'm gonna follow you. You ain't even gotta follow me. I'm about to follow you, bro. He's like, nah, I appreciate that. And then one of the best moments ever, I was in Houston. I never been in Houston a day in my life. Shout out to URL. They said, yo, Clip, we need you to come out here. We need you to capture some footage, do what you do. And it was 100 degrees outside, probably 105 today. I remember walking the line. I had to walk the line. It was really a block. Like, it was really a long block. It took you like 3 minutes to get from one end of the block to the next and to go around. And I remember being online with my camera. I'm going down the line, talking to the fans. Some of the fans know me. And as I'm saying it, they like, yo, let me hear something. We go hard. Let me hear something. That's your boy Clip. Yo, Clip. It was this dude from London. He said, yo, Clip, I know you, man. I know you, man. I say, bro, what the fuck? From where? Where are you from? Yo, I live out here in Houston, bro. I'm from this state. And these just people they coming to see other battle rappers, but they know me though.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like, yo, I'm online as a fan with fans. Like, this is crazy. They like, yo, it's your boy. I'm like, what? They saying my league, so I represent my league. When I'm out of town, niggas say, yo, we go hard. I represent that. So when I hear other people chanting that out, that was probably one of the most beautiful feelings in the culture I have ever felt. And then I also was able to be in the building. And I remember this is my first time to take the vision to another level. I remember being in the building. I never stood on stage and seen 1,000 people. I never stood on stage. This is my first time ever standing on the stage and looking into the crowd and seeing almost 2,000 probably at that. And I remember looking like, yo, I'm about to make this shit a movie. And I remember I said, yo, Smack, yo, bro, I got a great idea. We went in the back. I said, yo, bro, nobody was thinking about this. Nobody was thinking about this. I said, yo, bro, cut off all the house lights. Talk on a microphone. The crowd is going to go crazy. And when you step out, the light's going to come on. Now, I only had this for my camera and my idea. That was it. But if anybody download the URL app, when you see that footage, it's a part where Smack walks out and the lights come on. That's all me. It's a lot of content that they use that I put together, and that's what I'm in it for. But like I said, I'm a cameraman. I'm behind the
yeah,
scenes.
but
Like, I
that's
want
like
to.
that's like beyond just being a cameraman. That's like straight up directing.
Oh yeah, there you go. My fault. I'm a visionary. I'm gonna
Like,
say that definitely cameraman director because that's what I want to do. There's a lot of people that just got cameras and they're cameramen, but I
yeah,
want to be a visionary. I want to direct. I want to put it again. I had my first real opportunity. Shout out to my man Pete. He's from URL Black Market Media. Me and him, he said, yo, bro, I'm doing this called Born Legacy, which is like a birth of the new guys on URL. And he said, yo, bro, I want you to, I'm going to give you a song. It's called A Birds Fly High. You know how I feel. And when I heard the song, I'm like, it's powerful. Long story short, I get to the event. I bought a drone. My drone ended up crashing. This is how real it is. And that's why I tell people this is some shit that nobody know about. I bring out my drone. I fly it in the air. It crashed. 5 minutes after that, I still went back to the event and shot the event. Like, for real, for real. It was to that degree where it's like I'm at that point where I didn't let nothing stop or affect anything that I had or was going to do, because I wanted to make sure that I can capitalize on making the best out the moment. Oh yeah, so I shot the vlog, and long story short, when I did this vlog, I had all the battle rappers that was on that card. They hit me up and say, "Yo, bro, thank you. Like, thank you, bro. You made me feel important. You made me feel like I'm accomplishing something. You made me feel like I'm on my way to the next level." Like, and these is big shout out to Twerk. Twerk hit me back, I think probably last year, say, "Yo, bro, what's the name of that song?" And I sent it, he like, "Yeah, good looks, bro. Good looks, bro." And it's like, it's still people that watch that one to this day, because that was the one I looked at it like, if I was on that platform, I want every artist to feel like they're appreciated for what they're trying to bring to the culture.
So
This is y'all next level to be on this next level. You know what I'm saying? And I want to make sure that if I'm doing a trailer, if I'm doing a vlog, if I'm doing anything from YaBoyClip films, you're going to look a certain way. And I need you to look a certain way, because that's the key. That's the key. I'm not just in it to hold a fucking camera and shoot you. No, nigga, it don't work like that. I'm in it to make this shit look. I want you to say this shit look like a movie. Or I want you to see yourself in a way you probably never even seen yourself. I get shots that nobody think about. That's the beauty of me being a cameraman. Shout out to T-Top. I remember he shouted me out in the battle. "Yo, say what you think? Your boy Clip wasn't a, you got these cameramans. What? Your boy Clip wasn't hot enough?" And I remember when he said that, everybody just sent a message. "Yo, he just shouted you out. Yo, yo, yo." And I'm like, I'm watching it. I know. Thank you. I know. Like, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always blessed for anybody. Like, I don't care. I don't care whether you famous, and I don't care if you a homeless person down the block. If you rock with me, it's love. Love. That's it. And that's all I got in this for. I just wanted to be a part of the culture. Like, the culture know who I am. And if you don't know who I am, you know what I do. And if you don't know what I do, you're just not supporting what I got going on. And there's nothing wrong with that. But one thing I make sure is the fact that y'all gonna see me. If y'all not gonna see me, y'all gonna see the work that I do. It's a lot of artists that I have worked with in battle rap. We shot music videos during battles. Me and Chess, shout out to my man Chess. We shot a music video during the battle event. Like, this is, and then I go back to work. Like, this is stuff I do. I live and die with my camera. Like,
It's wild. So this was all like a tangent from that documentary event or movie event that you were describing, the Summer Something 5, where like I was just a pivot from that point where you basically shot that when I think URL had brought you in. So it kind of, you make that into a bigger thing as well, or?
yeah, because again, that was my opportunity. The Born Legacy 5, I've done little small things privately, but this is, again, yo, Clip, I got this idea. What you think about this? Shout out to my man Pete. We were sitting on the phone. We was thinking. I'm like, "Bro, I got you. I got you. Send me that beat." And he let me do what I do. He didn't tell me, "Go do this, get this, get this, get this." He trusts my judgment. He trusts my vision. He said, "Yo, bro, go out there." I gave him that. I gave him that content, and they dropped it. Again, amazing views. You look at the comments. People tell you, though, this is the best trailer ever. Ever. That's people saying this. And if you feel like that, that's the goal. Once I did that first one, I said, I'm in it now. Y'all let me in the door. Y'all gonna know who I am. I promise you. I don't care about battle rapping. I don't care about that. Because I'm gonna show you something that you can watch forever. They may not watch my battles forever. They damn sure gonna look at my footage forever.
That's huge, though. Like, if you think about it from the perspective of building legacy, it's like a way of acknowledging that, like, maybe some parts of it are more finite than others, and finding a way to really create an imprint. And I like the fact that you're able to just be more than a cameraman, because, like, let's be real, 9 times out of 10 you're not really gonna think that much about the cameraman. Like she's just there. You know.
Yeah.
Like
And the thing about it, like, even the cameraman is being good, but again, being in battle rap, I was able to shoot battle events. I was able to become a manager. I managed a lot of artists that wasn't my team, that wasn't even in my team. Um, um, I was able to meet people that I would have never thought I would meet in my life. Shout out to my man Twiz. Twiz was like a myth. Shout out to Smack. Smack was like a myth. Some of these people I never would have thought I would have came across. I know I'd have seen them sooner or later, but Smack calls my phone. Like that is a beautiful blessing. Like how you I always say I don't even talk about battle rap with him. How you and the family, how you doing, bro? Everything good, bro? You cool. I always try to feed him ideas to benefit what he got or vice versa. He just called me, yo, Clip, I may need you for Summer Madness. The same thing I just told you we did out there in Houston before. Hopefully I get the call back and we could do that again. But I'm only in it, and I used to tell Smack, yo, Smack, why I'm the only people was telling him this, don't get me wrong, but I was the only person really telling him, like, yo, bro, again, you got a story to tell. Why we ain't got a Smack documentary? Why you ain't, what? Do you know? And I had to remind him, I'm gonna remind you who you are. I've been around famous people. I'm gonna keep reminding you, even if you're famous, be in it with the purpose of for what you do. Whether you got this podcast, whether it's 300 people tune in or 20 people tune in, don't matter, because at the end of the day, you doing this for you. You're doing this for that person that's on your show. You're doing it for your team. Everybody lead by example, because again, everything takes time. But if you're not showing that you dedicated in what you do, why the fuck is you here? Why are you here to be on a podcast and not to talk? Or why are you here not to create different ways to, what's next? After we do Zoom, what's the next idea? How can we, that's the beauty of it. And you got a collective team of people to do that. Me, I didn't have none of this shit. I'm a one-man army. I got my girl that she helped when I got, but I'm talking about as a solid team to do what they do. I don't have that. Everything I've been doing my own my whole life.
Yeah, I don't. The team is less of a team than you would think. It's a few people, maybe max.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But even that few is all you need. As long as, because you can have 20 people on the team, but I bet you 5 of them got your vision. Those 5 is going to benefit you because they got your vision.
That's kind of where like it's at. It's actually like, I mean, I definitely love doing this for the passion of doing this. I think it's like, I don't know, documentation is super nifty. It's kind of like what you do, but different. Like, I mean, I guess what you do is part of it.
Let's say if I was in Montreal with you, and let's say if you were actually on the Zoom with somebody, I would actually be somewhere where you at, right behind you, doing behind the scenes footage of you interviewing a person. Because one, I'm the type of person to think that what you're doing or what your team is doing, it has to be documented. They're only seeing it through Zoom, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they don't see what you got to do to prepare for it.
Right. You know, it's because it's like you're sitting there, like if you're like me, like you're sitting there going, nobody gives a shit about that part, which is dumb. It's the dumbest shit. But like when you're in the moment, that's how it feels. Is like, you know, nobody actually gives a shit about me setting up a fucking Zoom, which is, I know for a fact people actually do care because they want to know how to do it or whatever other reasons but yeah, we just got a comment. I like how he always mentions Montreal, which I also fucks with. That's hella cool.
That's a fact, because again, like, you gotta salute the town, and I got some amazing stories that happened. The reason why I salute to the towns, one, I never been to Montreal, but I heard Montreal is super different. That's one. And again, I need some friends out there. So you listen, man, y'all artists and y'all need music videos. I travel.
Yo,
I'm always down to network, to brand out. I'm not afraid to expand. I'm not afraid to give stuff a try. Anybody who know me, my girl tell you that I give anybody a try, because a lot of artists is dope. A lot of artists can't afford some of these budgets and these deals, and I always try to work with people. Like, I'm in it to help. I'm not in it to no more help, make my money, take care of my fam, keep my stuff great. I have a great resume. I don't have a resume of negativity. I don't have a bad resume of doing no grimy business or no. I don't move like that. You know, this is in life. I don't move like that. So I always want to acknowledge, if Montreal people tuning in, yo, salute. You know what I'm saying? I may have some fans out there. If not me, I want to be a fan of what people got going on. So much stuff is going on in this world. We just got to appreciate all of it, respectfully.
When I went live on my Facebook for you, there were definitely a couple of people that interacted in an oh shit kind of way, as in they knew who you were. Because,
Yeah,
I mean, some
salute to
people.
them. Salute, man.
Yeah, Montreal
Salute.
is like a pretty, like, a lot of people here like battle rap. The issue is the bigger side of battle raps in French, so you can see how that
Yeah,
might create a challenge. But there
but
is like a
yeah,
very underground English battle rap scene that totally exists here. Like they have actually an event at like a festival because there's outside festivals allowed next weekend. I can't do it because of an interview. Like I can't go, but like they have a beat battle on the Friday, which I will go to, and then on Saturday they got
see
like
that's
battle.
fire. See, that's fire. We don't got shit like that out here in New York. You feel me? Like that's dope. That's some type of shit I document on my. You know what I'm saying? The same thing. Like I don't even keep everything just for back. I document dogs. I document cats. I documented funerals. I documented weddings. I documented kind of almost everything. Like everything. Like because again, even funerals, people like, yo, why you do the funerals? So you just want to remember this and say, nah, this is their home going. Some people would love to see. Again, I lost people that I wish that I would have recorded their funerals at this time with the mindset that I have now, just to keep. You know what I'm saying? It's not about seeing them dead; it's just seeing them at peace. You seeing what everybody's who's coming to see what and stuff like that. So I try to just tell a story just from a camera's perspective about you or what you do or what you have going on, whether it's your kids. Sometimes I be hitting up parents like, yo, you want to just take your kids outside? Let me just record some footage with them. Yeah, you can have that. I don't ask for nothing from that. That's just something I want you to see. You know what I'm saying? So
Matt, that is wild. You're just that passionate that you'll see a moment and just do a thing because you feel like doing a thing.
yeah. That's what got, and again, what really got me, the number one thing that got me into filming was the 9/11 situation. That's what really got me into filming.
How so?
Because I was into filming at the time, but I never had that opportunity again to gravitate and capture something to that degree. And I remember when 9/11 happened, I was in high school, and I remember I didn't know what happened. They just said, we all got to go home. And I remember walking down the block, and I remember just saying cop car after cop car after cop car after cop car. I didn't know what happened. I got home, I turned on the TV. I remember I put in my VCR tape, and I just start clicking pause, record, pause, record, pause. And I really recorded everything that was going on in the news, the highlights, everything. And then that's when I'm like, yo, I still got that footage on VCR tape. Like I can sell that footage to whatever if I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, to that degree. But it was just the fact that me capturing that and then also seeing the lives that we lost that day, also realizing what happened that day from the Pentagon, from all this other extra stuff, like lives was lost, stories would never be told before. Certain people's lives would never be told before. But we all know about the situation. So again, like you said, I'll be somewhere and I randomly just will say, yo, I want to record this clip, or this, that, and the third. Like I never planned on being a cameraman. I never planned on taking it serious. Like sometimes I've been wanting to quit. I've been in situations where I've done videos and people say, yo, I'm not going to pay you, to my face. Like, and I have a decision to either fight you or just let it happen. I've been in situations where it's just a lot. It's a lot that come with it, and you got to make sure that you keep yourself a certain way. And that's when I said, all right, cool. So now I learned how to combine everything that I do for battle rap, music, filming, photography, anything that you see your boy Clip on. I'm not trying to be great, but I'm almost going to be great at what I do. If I'm not able to do it, then I don't force myself to do nothing more than what I need to do. But if I got it and I know it, you're going to see my talent show. Believe that.
Evidently, if you don't have it yet, you'll learn it too, is another thing that you've pointed out. But I would be like remiss to not ask about how you linked up with Dipset.
Okay, yeah. So shout out to my man again. This is URL. URL was good. So it's this guy named Will. My man Will, he used to be one of the cameramen for URL. And again, I always seen him. I never knew who he was, but I always seen him with the camera on URL. Now remember, I'm a cameraman for We Go Hard. that's my next goal, to be a cameraman for URL. Like, I fuck battle rapping over here. If I can record these moments, how I record and capture these thoughts, which I have shot actually URL moments. I actually shot a Band Legacy 5, I think it was, as one of the camera. I have done a URL app events, private events, big events as the cameraman. So my man Will, again, I was passionate, and he always rocked with me. I always show him love every time. He said, "Yo, bro." He called my phone. He said, "Bro, I gotta." He said to him, he does this. He works with Noriega. He was working with Cardi B before Cardi B was even who she was. Like, so he worked with Jadakiss, Noriega. His resume is where I would love to be. But he hit me, was like, "Yo, Clip, I got a deal for you. I gotta do something you might want to do it. I don't know if you want to do it." He's saying it real calm. I'm like, "What?" He's saying, "Bro, I got this Dipset documentary, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be in Atlanta. It's like a 3-day thing, but it's like non-stop." And he's explaining to me what it is. He let me know how much I'm gonna get paid. And I'm like, "For real?" Like, yeah. I'm like, "This is Dipset?" And this is their 10-year anniversary. And this is the first time they've been together in 10 years. This is not like an average documentary we doing right now. Right. So I'm like, "Word?" I'm like, yeah, bro." That was the hardest job of my life. That was it was a great. I was able to meet celebrities. I was able to see a lifestyle, how they move, how they operate. I remember Jim Jones got up, the whole fucking room moved with him. Everywhere he went. He's like, "Yo, bro, relax, y'all. Y'all ain't gotta keep following me." Like, it was just to that degree because of the magnitude. I seen Cameron, I seen Young M.A., I seen Lil Wayne. I remember they had a big ass brawl after Lil Wayne performed out there. It was just something different where it's like, but I learned so much. I learned everyone's story. I gotta shout out to Freaky Zeke. I always respected his story, however he moved or whatever. But just seeing the shit that niggas go through, when you hear it, it's different when you watch it on TV or YouTube. But when you physically there and you hear what they saying, you hear the story that's been heard before, but they telling it more vividly. It hit a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? So me just having that opportunity to be around all of them because of Will, that was a great experience. If y'all don't know, go type in Dipset documentary. The YouTube is under Empire. That's the actual link right there. And Will did all the editing, great editing. We had other I was a cameraman. I think Will was the cameraman. We had an audio man. It was a collective teamwork. But once I got to that opportunity, that's when everything went up for me.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, just being attached to something like Dipset is big. That's
but I don't use that as a crutch. I just keep that as one of my biggest accomplishments, because again, I'm not the type of person that, "Oh, you know what? Yo, Holden, man, yo, Clip, I need a video." "Well, Holden, I don't know, bro. I just did a Dipset documentary, bro. I gotta charge you like $2,000. No, bro, I'm not doing that. I'm not that.
I hear you, but it's still like,
there's certain people that do that, and then they look down on people who don't got it, and it's like, that ain't fair. That ain't fair to the next person. But I treat you the same way I looked at Dipset. Your video gonna look the same way. I'm gonna treat it with the same, and you know what I'm saying? That's how I just move personally.
I still think within the context of your story, it's a hella cool fucking thing to pull out the bag.
Hell yeah. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm in the projects. I live in the hood. Like, I'd have never thought in my life I would have met Dipset as well as shoot a documentary for them. I would have never thought I worked at thisis50.com. I never would have thought I worked at. I never would have thought I would have met Roxanne, the original Roxanne.
Thisis50.com. That's 50 Cent's website.
Yeah, that's the 50 Cent website. Yeah, thisis50.com. I never would have thought I had an opportunity to work there.
How did you work there? What did you do?
Shout out to my man Heineken. Heineken is from Thisis50. If y'all don't know, shout out to him. Shout out to my man DJ Hardcore. Shout out to Jay Bettis. Shout out to 50 and all of them. You know what I'm saying? My man Heineken. I always seen Heineken used to come to battle rap events. He seen me, I seen him, and I always wanted to say, "Yo, bro, I wanna fuck with you. Like, I wanna rock with you. I wanna get some shit done." He was like, I got you. It took time, but he finally hit me up. He said, "Yo, bro, I'm interviewing this person. You want to pull up? You can make a little bit of bread." I'm like, "Yeah." We was doing unsigned artists, mainstream artists, and it was great. I met Cardi B. I met DJ K Slade. I met Young Dro. I met young who was it? Young Dolph. I met some people that again I never would have thought I met just sitting down behind the camera interviewing. You know what I'm saying? Black youngster. Like it was just a great feeling, and it being in the office with 50, being around, just seeing his accomplishments, seeing what he's doing, talking to the people that he has around him. Shout out to my man Jake Bettis. Like I don't have no problem meeting the stars, but I also like to poly with the guys that's not that they be around the stars, but they not stars. They don't look like a star.
I relate heavy to that shit.
Like those guys, you know what I'm saying? Like those are the people that I gotta, because again, it takes a lot.
No, but it's even like bigger. Like, so I relate to that heavy. Like at work, everyone tries to kiss ass on the CEO, but really you want to talk to his assistant.
Yeah.
If you good with the assistant, you good for life. If you're not good
with
the
assistant. That's a fact, because the assistant is making sure that he's great. And that assistant can make sure the assistant knows things, they know people, they know it. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted to make sure that I'm just happy that I know these people, like, or got a report, you know what I'm saying, from them. So when that happened, that's another thing I did where it benefited me. There's mad battle rappers that hit me up. They were giving me bars, and when you hear battle rapper, there'd be a battle rap event, and somebody have a "This is 50 your boy clip" line or something in it. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely dope, man. I was able to meet Ghost from Power, met Lala. We was at a Martin Luther King thing. This is 50 did. Met DJ Thorough. It's just a beauty. That was something I never would have thought happened. Met Roxanne, Miss Rock, the real Roxanne, and I didn't even know who she was. This is what I'm saying. It's so crazy, like how things happen. We was in Church and Caicos. I was working at a strip club, and my DJ, he introduced me to this guy who was doing like he'll do travel aways with families and friends, like little getaways and stuff like that. And he's like, "Yo, I used to always be at the strip club, with my." I would always be at the strip club with my laptop. While everybody up in there looking at ass and all this other stuff, I'm sitting there editing. And the DJ used to be like, "Yo, bro, that's all you do. That's all you do." He's like, "Yeah, bro." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck about them hoes, bro. I'm chilling, bro." He's like, "Yo, you know what? I'm gonna call my man." He called him. I got paid $1,500. They took care of my flight. They took care of my room for 7 days. I think it was like 5 days or 6 days. We stood out there on the beach. This is crystal water. I've never been outside the country. Clear water. Great. I was documenting everything. 7 days nonstop. And I remember she performed. And then I remember coming back on the plane when we leaving, and she's showing me who she is. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. You is Roxanne. What the? How did not notice? But when I found out, and again, it just felt so lit. Like I couldn't believe that I was just out here shooting with Roxanne, and I didn't even know who she was.
That's incredible. I guess that might have even made the experience better, because you're not like distracted by that, and then after the fact, you get to like revel in it, and then that's fresh, man. Those are seriously crazy experiences.
I'm not a starstruck person. It's only one person. If I ever meet, I mean, two people. My son Allen Iverson and Steph Curry. If I meet them, you already know what type of time it is. You may see me act a little extra. But other than that, like I don't get starstruck because again, I know a lot of stuff is business. You want to be professional. That's the important part. That's what I had to learn. I messed up. I done a lot of things that was unprofessional in the beginning, but once I figured everything out, once I started shooting weddings and big important things, that's when I had to get professional.
And there's a lot of money in weddings, like from what I understand.
Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is. And again, me, I think, like, I don't just give you the wedding. If you and your wife is getting married, I'm saying, "Yo, bro, y'all got a beach near y'all? I want y'all. This is stuff I'm gonna add for y'all. This is for y'all. This ain't had nothing to do with the wedding. This is something for you and her to watch for your own personal. This is my gift to you, type of thing. Like, I'm not just in it for you pay me to shoot your wedding and put it together. I want to give you a story. I may have a private conversation with you and then have a private conversation with her, and neither one of y'all know about where this is going or how I put this together. And then I got a picture of you and her walking on the beach, and then I got the drone. Then that's just me. I want it to look like y'all watching anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. It's so I think too much. That's my goddamn problem.
I mean, it's not a terrible problem to have,
It's not.
especially.
It's not at all. It's not at all.
So you also definitely made more music in the last little bit, if I'm not
Yeah, I
mistaken.
got again. Like I do music again. I got my own studio where I'm at right now. I do music just because I'm like I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like certain songs that that um that I just want to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not in it to, like I said, get signed. I'm not in it to look for no streams. I'm not in it to look for no revenue. Sometimes I just make music for me. Like I got mad music that's unreleased that I just have, and I'm not in it to just keep it. Or I don't have a purpose. I just have access to do it. When I feel like doing it, I can do it. If I wanted to drop a whole project tonight, I could really sit here tonight and it should be done by tomorrow. And I can do my own cover art. Then after I do my own cover art, I can have my girl shoot my video. Then I can edit my own video. I don't gotta ask nobody for shit. Like respectfully, you know what I'm saying? And or yo, if I want to get a feature, send your music over right now. I can knock out this feature. Knock out this. Shout out to the fans that used to hit me up for the features. Respectfully, I never had shit like that done. Yo, because of who I am in battle rap, they wanted a feature off of stuff like that. But I also made sure I'm not coming over here just rapping. Well, what's the concept of the song? What's this? Yo, if it's fire, we can do a video, bro. Matter of fact, if this song is fire, I'm not even gonna charge you. You have because the song is so fire. I be doing stuff like that. Like that's just real stuff. Whatever comes to my mind, depending on how the song is or whatever. Like I be trying to do just different stuff, but keep the respect level. Like if you're a fan of me, I want you to remain a fan of me. I don't never want you to lose that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't gotta be your favorite, but if you're a fan of me, I'm gonna always give you a reason why. That's why I fucks with Clip. If it's not the aura, if it's not the energy, then it's the grind. My grind alone, my chain says itself. There's no days off. Like there's really no days off. Every day it counts for something. Because sometimes business will get slow. Then I may have 5, 7 gigs right back to back to back to back to back. So it's like I'm just in it. I'm just in it to help everybody. I'm in it to help anybody who need any camera work. I don't care where you're at. Like, we'll figure something out. We'll come up with a deal, a package deal where everything is taken care of. And I always do my part. Always. Always.
Yeah, fucks with that. I also like your music. I was outside and I did a long ass bicycle ride listening to one of your mixtapes, which I thought
Okay.
which I thought was really enjoyable, like really full of songs, and I just appreciated your versatility as an artist. Like you're very talented
Yeah,
with that.
I appreciate that. And that's what I try to do. And again, y'all want to watch me battle. And again, I took the music to Verbal War Zone. That's what we battle on beat. You know what I'm saying? That's from the old games. Back in the days, that's what we used to do. So that's kind of still running good at music. If y'all ever want to check out any battles, rap. If you're a fan of battle rap, if you're also a fan of battle rapping on beats and diss tracks and all this other stuff, go to Verbal War Zone. It's another platform where you can see me work. You know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of on the spot battles. Like it's a lot of artists that battle on that platform that be in the building and then their opponent don't show up. And then my man Chosen say, yo, Clip, you got a round on deck? I go in my archive. Yo, I got him. We'll battle. But sometimes I understand how that feel as being an artist. Some of these artists is traveling from states, 8 hour drive, 6 hour drive. They want to rap. So I'm not gonna. That's not fair to them not to let them get their shit off. So I'll have my round on deck, something old in the archives or whatever. But I still make sure that the battle is fire. And knowing that my name represents that, I gotta make sure that I'm great. So it's like that's why I said Verbal War. So I got a battle coming up in Philly. That's gonna be great on September 18th. Verbal Warzone in Philly against this guy named Manface. Like, that's gonna be. I'm gonna show y'all. Don't let this camera stuff fool you. Don't let this battle rap stuff fool you. I am who I am and why I do what I do. Respectfully, I'm gonna smoke his ass. Believe that. I'm smoking.
And have you just like kept battling the entire time?
Huh?
Have you just like constantly been battling the entire time?
Nah, I stopped for a while. Because I dealt with what made me stop. Really, man. We gonna talk the other side. Battle rap ain't always what you think. We gonna do y'all. I'm gonna get the real shit. So again, being in battle rap, your main goal is to be on URL. I made URL. I battled this guy named Tyranny. Now, I probably had the top 3 best battle of the night. I had one of the most iconic moments in battle rap. And when I did it, I was expecting my battle to drop a little faster. That battle, it took a whole year, which I felt like it shouldn't have, but it took a whole year for that battle to drop. But when it dropped, it didn't drop on the platform that it was. But at that time, see, my thing was, I didn't give a fuck about no other battle rapper. But when Clip battle rapping, that footage is going to drop. I don't care if it make it to that big platform, and I don't care if it's on that small platform. But one thing you're going to do is drop my footage. So I made sure that I had a. At this time, I didn't know Beasley, URL. I didn't know all this stuff. So I'm speaking from heart. I'm speaking as a fan. I'm like, that's fucked up. That got people grinding. It's been a whole year. Why niggas doing? I was really coming at everybody. I didn't care who they was. I was just letting them know how I feel. And it's a lot of situations that I don't want to dwell in. It's a lot of situations that happen where certain people was in position to help me win, and they wasn't trying to help me win. They was doing some sneaky shit, some behind the scenes shit, not putting logos on my battles when it was supposed to be on my battles, and sneaking the battle past niggas. It was just mad shit that was going on that it was just like, I didn't come in this for this. And the niggas that's doing this shit, I don't have no personal problems with, but I would have thought niggas would be real with me, but some niggas just ain't real to you or whatever your standards are. So when that happened, I just fell back, and that's when I got into the verbal war zone battling on beat, because it was just like, it was just a lot. So and then after that, I said, you know what? I'm going back to battling home, which is We Go Hard. Like I already had, I battled my man HD, I battled YBS, which our battle happened on We Go Hard that actually dropped on URL, the app. So that's a great thing. I battled my man Sir South. So I'm just more on my We Go Hard, just really We Go Hard. URL actually called me a couple of months ago and asked me to be on their platform. But I kind of told them no, bro. I just respectfully told them like, nah, at this moment, it's just a lot. It's just a lot to keep dealing with. I've been dealing with this cycle of battle rapping on URL. Then I got to wait a whole nother long time, then come back and wait a whole nother long time. Like, and I get what hurts the most is really when I meet these fans. Remember, I'm at these events, or if I'm pulling up, these fans are like, yo, I want to see you here. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And again, that doesn't mean I have to be on this platform, but I would like to be shown, but everything don't always work in your favor. And that's one thing I realized in this shit. Everybody ain't gonna make it. So what else you gonna do? I'm good. I don't got a battle rap at all. I can stop battle rapping right now and be great for life. But I like the battle rap because my people around me is really fire. We all make sure we're fire. You rarely see a bad YaBoyClip back. You rarely see me unprepared. You rarely see me backing out. Or you really like, nah, we appreciate rap. I appreciate lyrics. I'm a fan of Jadakiss. I'm a fan of Fred the Godson. I'm a fan of Stack Bundles, Fabulous, Ransom, RJ Payne, people that rap punk, like that's gonna give you some shit. I don't want to hear a club song. I don't want to hear the Lil Uzi. And nothing wrong with them, but that's just not where I'm cut from. I'm come from the streets of rapping. You got to get on the track. You got to say some shit. You got to make me feel away. Like that's the type of stuff I was doing.
Yeah, that's
so battle rap again. It came and gone, but now I'm right about now. I'm still battle rapping. Like I said, I got a 2-on-2 coming up on We Go Hard. I got a battle on a beat coming up in September. I got a film we're about to start called Trials and Tribulations. I'm doing my other show called Behind the Bars. My podcast.
What is your other show?
Yeah.
What are your shows and your podcast?
Yeah. The podcast is called The Conversation. So basically, I'm gonna be just having a real conversation with a lot of artists, different stories that people don't know about. I don't want to hide the real. I want the real to be shown. I want the real to be said. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be that. And then the Trials of Tribulations is going to be shot to my man B City. That's actually his show, but we're going to be doing different segments, different topics, different situations, funny things, real things, deep things. We're going to give y'all like a whole different, you're not going to expect certain things. It's going to be something real special. So again, it's just to keep myself going, keep myself occupied. I have a lot of people that depend on me keep making progress. So, and that's all I'm doing for. Until my time is gone, if I ever go, y'all gonna know, like, nah, Clip was probably one of the hardest working niggas I ever seen in my life.
I respect that heavy. Yo, I have another question from the chat that came up before, but it didn't
Yo,
feel
shout out to
appropriate.
the chat. You heard? I appreciate y'all staying around. You feel me?
But
Make sure y'all follow me on IG at your boy Clip.
do you have a favorite battle that you've like watched or let's go with watched and participated in?
A battle. My favorite. Right, do I have a favorite? All right. Well, one of my favorite battles was I got this battle. I just actually posted on my Instagram. One of my favorite battles was I battled my man D-Dub, and he from We Go Hard. And I did something creative. Like again, I be very thing outside the box. So I remember he battled one of my friends, and he brought up something about Aaliyah. Wasn't a diss. He just used Aaliyah as a reference. But when he did the bar, it was a dope bar, dope setup. I said, you know what? I want to do something that's going to make that 10 times more. So I remember I had an actual Aaliyah shirt of Aaliyah, and then I took his whole idea. I played Aaliyah audio in the building. Not in the building. I played it in the building, but it's actually in the battle of what she said. So when you get a chance, go watch YaBoyClip versus D-Dub. That's kind of one of my favorite battles. That's one of my favorite battles. Another one is YaBoyClip versus Flo Lee. That is crazy. That Go watch that. Like, I'm gonna show you something. Like, when you go watch that, you're gonna be like, wow. Like, when you see what I just did to him, the whole Flo Leads, and I did a whole fireball where his name is Flo Leads. So it's a part where I walk away, I walk in the crowd, I disappear. Everybody be like, yo, where the fuck you going, bro? I'm trying to see what a Flo lead, and you hear the biggest roar.
Yeah, I seen
it
that
was a
one.
roar. You seen that one, bro? You know. Chat, go watch. That was to me. When I did that, that's when I was like, oh, I'm just too nice.
Yo, the crowd gets so
nice.
loud that even if you have to like run it back because it wasn't paying attention, right? So they have to run it back because the crowd kind of exploded. But
yeah, I had to bring it back. And that was one of my favorite battles, and at the time, anything, because at the time my man Flo Lee, he actually down with our team. That was actually like his initiation. Like, you got to battle somebody that's from the team for you to actually be down on his team and everything like that. So that was probably my two. I participated in a lot of battles, but those are definitely my top two. My top two. That's one of my favorite that I actually personally like.
And what about ones that you just like watched? What would you say your like favorite battles are?
In general, outside of myself.
Yeah.
A battle. Like I said, I watch a lot of battle rap. I ain't gonna front. One of my favorite ones. I like Chess and Jerry West. That's one of my favorite battles. Brooklyn Carter versus Steen. That's one of my favorite battles. Sonny versus Stubbles that actually just dropped. That's one of my favorite battles. I still like Conceited and Suit Surf. That was a crazy ass battle. That was crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot because I'm in tune. Like I said, if I support you, I'll watch. I don't care if your battle is in Montreal. I'm gonna watch it. Like, we gonna watch it because again, people just kind of watch only where certain places is at. But now I'm gonna watch that battle over there. I'm gonna watch it. If you are battling and I'm a fan of you, I'm gonna try to click on your battle. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot to grasp to actually say what's some of my favorites because some of them got different moments, some of them got different reactions, some of them got different energy. So I don't have, like I said, anything in particular, but those are some of my favorite. Brooklyn Carter versus Chess. That's it's really my team. I ain't gonna front. Like, I got really a lot of again, because we try to treat ourselves like the lots, respectfully, not because they had the Dipset shit, but we go with the fact that rap matters, loyalty matters, and how we move and how we operate matters. We in it for the fans. We not in it for nothing else. We in it for the fans. Anything that comes with the fans outside of that is a blessing. That's money, that's traveling, all of that shit. You're in it for the fans because the fans is what's going to keep you motivated. The fans are what's going to keep you active. The supporters, I don't want to call it fans, supporters, whatever you want to call it, those are the ones that's going to keep you motivated. You could do this shit all by yourself, but if you're not getting one person that's telling you, yo, you fire, you great, that's all you need sometimes is that. It's like going to work. Nobody want to fucking go to work. If you got a job, right? We say shit niggas scared to. This for the chat. If y'all got a job, right, and y'all busting your ass at your job, and your boss is not highlighting you, tell his ass or her ass, yo, do you see me grinding over here? Do you see what I'm doing over here? Because sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that motivation to say, yo, you doing great. Or I'm proud of what you got going on. Or I see what you're doing, bro. Like, I'm loving it. Just keep doing that, bro. I'm waiting to see. Sometimes all you need is that one person to change your perspective for like a week or a month or even a year. You need that.
Yo, big facts. Yo, honestly, that's incredible. So you have all these projects coming next. You're basically just kind of killing it still. If anything, your career is just kind of ascended into better and better and better by virtue of you just grinding it out and being rewarded for it over time. But I also think it's like a bigger reflection of like, that's kind of what it is. Like, that's what life kind of is when you're doing it right. And it just creates these really dope moments and opportunities for yourself. And that's incredible.
And that's the thing. Create them opportunities for yourself. And again, if somebody puts you in a great position to make these opportunities, make sure that you represent them. If you hit me and say, yo, Clip, I got an artist out here that I need you to hook up, I'm going to do that. But I'm also doing it not for the sake of the artist that you want me to hook up because of you. I have a rapport with you. I have to make you look a certain way to that man. Once I'm done with this video, he's going to hit you up and say, yo, bro, thank you. Like, that's important. Again, that you got to lead by example at all times.
Right.
And sometimes you don't never want to burn them bridges of the people that's putting you in a position to win. If they're not trying to help you win, then you can move how you want to move. But if niggas is not trying to do that, then you don't need to be around them. You don't need to deal with them. You don't even need to take advice from them, bro. Like, there's certain people that are like, yo, bro, we gonna work. I don't believe you until I see you physically face to face.
Right.
Until then, it's just words to me. I appreciate that, but you can't sell me a dream. I'm too grown for that. You can't tell me we're gonna do something. Or things happen. I'm patient. I'm not on no rush. It's people that I've been around with years that I never did a song with. I never did a video for. I never did. But when that time comes, it's going to benefit you. And again, when I tell people, like, I don't toot my own horn, but I know from the outside, like, I'm one of the best people that do what they do. So if I'm in your circle or I'm in your team or if you know me, it makes you look good when people see that your boy Clip, oh, he this person, or he famous, or he do this, or he do that. And then I don't care about the views. The views don't make or break nothing. That's what, well, you got 4,000 here, you got 10,000 here, but then I got almost 50,000 here, and then I got 40,000. The numbers don't matter. That's wherever that platform that generate that. But when you outside in these streets or you in these towns and these people see you, I'm a cameraman. So when I be in other people's hoods, so don't you battle rap? You look familiar. On everything. I almost had to fight a guy on a train because he was just staring at me. He's just staring at me, and I'm staring at his ass. And I'm from Brooklyn. Don't be staring at me. I'm gonna say, what the fuck is you looking at? So I'm looking at him. He looking at me. I'm like, yo, I got a feeling he gonna try some shit. He comes walking towards me. I lean back on the chair. He's like, yo, ain't you your boy Clip? I'm like, yeah, what up? Yeah, I seen your battles, bro. I'm like, woo. Just a relief. I thought you was on some type of time right about that, brother. But it's like, and again, he said it himself, bro. I don't know how to approach, you know what I'm saying? Because some of y'all, and that's the thing you got to understand. That's why I said it's important that you know your fans and you know your people. They know how to approach you and you know how to approach them. You know what I'm saying? And that's the important part.
Yo, your boy.
Like, I would never turn down a fan picture. Oh, take a picture. Or I done stuff where I brought fans to battles. Yo, pull up. Come hang with me. They're like, word? Yeah, come on, pull up. I'm chill. Let's smoke, let's vibe. We got drinking. And I've done stuff like that before because they never experienced it. You never been to a battle? But you a battle at fan of me? Oh, come on. I got pulled. Come on, pull up. Pull up this day. Here's the flyer. I'm going to DM you the flyer. You pull up at this time. If you don't pull up at this time, I'm blocking you. Oh, word? Amazing. So they can see that I'm serious. And then they pull up to the event. Y'all appreciate that, bro. They meeting other battle rappers that they never met before because of me. And that's beauty. Like, be the fan. Enjoy yourself, bro. Have fun.
Yeah, I appreciate your energy, man. You bring something like pretty incredible to the table with everything that you do. Like, I don't know, like you talk to a lot of people, but like will you come out, man? I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just a blessing to know you exist and to have had this conversation.
I mean a lot, G. I mean a lot, and that's what I'm here for, bro. Like, I could have been going a long time. Like, I've been through real shit. I've been through some real life shit, life on the line. Could have lost my life. I've been it all, but one thing I always realize, if I'm gonna leave with something. I'm gonna leave y'all with something if I could. Like, I don't never want to leave this world not knowing, like, not just leaving y'all with something. You know what I'm saying? Like, something is going to motivate you when you're around Clip. Like, his drive, his driven, his passion is going to make you want to say, I'm getting on my shit. I don't give a fuck if you're working out. I don't give a fuck if you like working at McDonald's. Like, do what you do, be the best at what you can do, because it's only you doing it. You ain't gotta. I don't follow nobody. I don't answer to nobody. I do what I want, how I want, why I want, when I want to do it. To that degree, I create everything how I want to create it. I'm always down to listen and take open options, but I also know it's a certain way that things have to move in my life to make things smoother. And I'm not in it to be greedy. I'm in it to make my money. I work you out. I get deals. I try to just do stuff that I know other people ain't doing. And I'm not looking for nothing in return but make you look great. If we hanging in there, we can hang out, we can chill, we can do that all day, but a lot of people can't make money together. I got mad friends, but I don't got a lot of friends with money. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to put yourself around people that got money. Not saying you want their money, but you need to learn how to get it. And sometimes you need to create your own energy. You need to create yourself. I could be broke around. I've been broke around people with millions and don't feel no type of way, and it still be fine with $200 in my pocket. Doesn't make or break me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't look at that as nothing. But I also realize that being in this game, being in this culture, I invested thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of cameras. A camera right here. This is a Sony right here. And I got another one right here. You know what I'm saying? And I just bought another camera right here. And I got a Mac and a laptop. Then I got the lens and that. This is real. Like, I could shoot a film right now if I want to. But if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna make sure it look a certain way. Like, this is what I do on a regular. I'll make sure I want to invest. If I'm getting a video, you're not gonna keep using this camera. Yo, bro, I got a new camera for your next video. You're gonna keep upgrading. While I'm upgrading, you're going to upgrade. Why would I want you to keep being the same? Nah, bro, we don't do that. And then some people don't realize why I charge what I charge because I'm investing. I don't have a person to say, bro, I got this for you. No, this is money from music. All the music videos I made from this got me this. All the music vids I made from that one got me the next one. And that's the part of the grind. That's part of you gotta show that. You gotta show me that you in it to win it. You know what I'm saying? And people know that. So it's like, I got some things for you.
Yo, I definitely appreciate you, man. I appreciate all of this.
I appreciate that energy, everything. Shout out to Dutch. We're gonna do another one with Dutch. Dutch gotta give you more.
Yeah, because it's definitely a different experience with him. He like interrupts with his like, oh, I know all this shit, and he starts directing and steering shit, and then being like, let's talk about all the New York shit that I didn't know that you said. So that's like,
it's a lot. Like, it was a lot. It's a lot of stuff that y'all probably don't know that I would probably, if you say I recall. I remember when a lot of people didn't like Dutch. A lot of people did not like Dutch. Never understood why. It's still people that hit me up saying I don't fuck with him. That's cool. I'll fuck with him.
I fuck with him.
How you feel towards it? That's cool. He never done me wrong with Dame's wife. He always supported me. Always. Like, it is great that he puts me on to people like y'all, the whole Shack, the whole team, the whole state, everything, bro. That's good for me. I don't get a lot of interviews. So when I do get them, I'm treating this shit like the Breakfast Club. You treating this shit like Hot 97. You treating this shit like anything to that degree. You're gonna appreciate it. Like, I love to conversate. I love to get into with everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas need me up there, I'll be up there. I got some other guests, I'll pull up. As long as I got the Zoom link, I'll tune in, I share, I support it. It's not hard to do that. People make the simplest shit so hard. It's not hard to support somebody.
Yeah, fucks with that too, man. Everything you're saying, like, you could do like motivational Instagram videos and people will watch that shit.
I have people hit me up about stuff like that.
That's
I
dope.
definitely had it. 'Cause I thought about that. Shout out to Wallow. I ain't front doing things like Wallow when he used to just run to the camera. And I got some things, but again, I got some things coming from even stuff like that. I'm not just doing it for myself. You're going to see it in a way when you want to watch it. Like,
Mm.
I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, my main goal is just grind. And last now you probably is tattooed on me for a reason. You feel what I'm saying? Like, oh, hey, my fault. But last night, Friday later, like I don't have time to move around. I don't have time. I lost family members. I lost friends. I lost my brother. I lost my pops. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. I could be moping. I could be depressed. I could not give a fuck about none of this shit. You just focus on regular life, which I am still focusing on that right now. I haven't had a 9 to 5 in who knows how long. I've done these small bullshits here and there, but I have a real 9 to 5. All of this shit, W2 and all this shit from me. It's like if I can go to work and work $80 a day and make that when I can do a music video and I can charge $500 and or $600, or I can get a video for $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So what is the purpose of that? So I'd rather just create my own business and use that to my best ability. Treat people, meet clientele, meet new artists, man. Whether that they don't have to be music. I've done stuff with dancers, beatboxers. Like I've done stuff with kids. I've done stuff paintings. Like I've done a sports fight and all of this other weird. It doesn't like I'm always down to just shoot different content, and that helps you out when you want. Only thing I have never done with the film, and that's what we're working with.
Yeah, that's incredible. I like how again there's even the elevation point built into this, ready to go. You definitely, you're definitely a guy I think people should follow. Like it's definitely worth it. I mean, obviously your story is fucking interesting, full of a lot of like wins, but like in a really like humbling, I can do it too kind of way. That's like the cool part. Is it's not like this grandiose shit. It's more like, yeah, I could replicate a lot of his moves if I really apply myself, which is like the best part of your story. But then you're still doing it. So honestly, like I appreciate that you shared everything with us. Everybody should definitely follow you. I know for the future videos, it's all going to be down below, and
Yeah,
it's
most definitely. Yo, follow me at YaBoyClip. YaBoyClip. If you want to look at any of my visuals of what I do, music videos, content, whatever, just type in 4K clip films. You see that? I'm always down to network. I'm always down to anything people need, like stuff from graphics, photos, engineering. I'm slowly getting on my engineering, so I'm good. I'm not great, but you know, so I'm working it, but I'm definitely solid. I know how to put it together. I know how to level it, sound the same way. Um, and just tune in, man. Like tune in, man. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody that pulled up, supported, and chat, questions, vibes, everything. Okay? So don't be afraid to hit me up, man. Like really follow me, hit me up. Let me know what y'all got going on. Let me know y'all. Bro said I can be a motivational speaker, so I'm taking his advice. You feel me? So y'all gotta just hit me up. Y'all need some words of wisdom. I understand. Trust me. I understand the grind. Like, trust me. I don't care what you got going on. Hit me up. Man.
I appreciate that. And also, I just want to make sure we wait, quick. Yeah.
Shout
Also,
out to my man Holden, by the way, man. Shout out to my man Holden.
yeah, I appreciate that too. But I also want to make sure again we shout out everybody watching and that we shout out End of the Week for hosting this. Make sure that y'all follow End of the Week at /EOWTV on all the stuff and EODub.com, EODUB.com for all the other stuff. Appreciate having you all, everybody. It was really great. It looks like your boy clipped out at this moment as we're ending, so I guess we'll take that as a sign. So live long and prosper, everybody. We'll definitely catch you next time on this.